Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Today I have been driving quite a bit and we're about to get ready to go and just like hang out and just wind down because tomorrow we have a full day of adventuring to do. But we just pulled into Mississippi and I am starving, and Riley and I both have concurred that we want something very tasty. So we found a place online that's called the Gumbo Pot and we're about to go check it out. I'm not sure how this is going to work out for us. I don't know if it's going to be great. It seems to have some pretty good reviews, but we're going to give it a good little sampling and find out. And then I'll probably get into some other things on this video too. So I'll just show you what my food looks like and we'll move through this and figure out where we're going to stay tonight. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And on days like today, when it's just raining, it puts you in a mood to be just like in a little nighttime. But there's a few other weird things going on in here too, so let's talk about them. Shoes are drying on the dash. My socks also drying on the dash. There's no hope in sight for me to be able to wear those today because there was just so much water that they got flooded. I learned today that Hokas are not waterproof. Now, let's not get this twisted. They don't advertise that they are waterproof, so that's just a little tidbit from me. But yeah, not waterproof. So my feet were nice and slushy, but that's not all. That's not all. My jacket has finally started to dry out, but it's still damp to the touch on the arms. And my towel is dry because it's a quick dry, so it worked out pretty well. But the real story is behind this door, where I also have a shirt that had to dry because it got so wet. And apparently I have some socks that are trying to escape. So that's good. Lock up the van. Looking a little weird in my hiking boots, but they're my dry shoes that are not sandals. And over here we come to where Riley is trying to figure out her life and get things together also, so we can go into the Gumbo Pot. Hi, Riley. Funniest part is we tried to beat the weather, and the weather actually shifted, and as a result of that we ended up hitting it dead on, and so we ended up just getting soaked. Like the worst soaked that I've been in a while. And it was not fun. So we decided to completely abandon the entire state of Louisiana, who's going to be slammed by rain for a while, and come just barely into Mississippi because, well, let's face it, why not? We have wheels, we can drive, we might as well find someplace fun that isn't pouring down rain. And as soon as we got here, the sun and the sky decided to work in our advantage, and well, now we're not soaking wet, which is really nice. So into the Gumbo Pot we go to find some good food. We are starving. There is also a hibachi restaurant in this plaza, so I'm not sure if it's the hibachi or the gumbo, but something smells delightful. So we're going to cross our fingers that it is the gumbo, and we are going to get our very first southern meal of the trip. Yay! I'm so excited. Let's go. What were you thinking?
Okay, so typically I love crawfish, but because we're at the Gumbo Pot, I figured we should get gumbo at the Gumbo Pot.
I mean, yeah. I think that's a logical solution to this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, what kind of gumbo? There's also this Taste of Bayou thing, which you get a choice of any 3 of the above, including, I could get all the gumbos if I wanted, but the one that really also jumped out to me was this crawfish, how do you say it?
Etouffee.
And I didn't know what that was, but Bunny showed me and told me, and I was like, that looked good too!
Everything sounds delicious. We're starving. This is what she was talking about right here. This is the Taste of the Bayou. It's $18, but you get 3 of the above, plus 1 side and bread. And then you have all of the sides on the other side over here. So, a bunch of cool stuff. We'll figure this out. So hard because there's so many good sounding things and I'm so hungry, so I'm just like thinking about that Taste of the Bayou, but at the same time knowing that's a lot of food and that's way too much for me probably. But if I was going to get the etouffee, I might as well just get the Taste of the Bayou, because for a bowl it's $17, or I could just get the 3 for $18.
Do it. I'm doing it.
I have Riley as an influence.
You have been influenced.
That's never good when it comes to food. We have leftovers because that was a lot of food. I kind of knew that was coming though, because I was hungry and I ordered with my hunger instead of my brain, and oh my gosh, it was good though. It was super good. I didn't share a lot of the
totally worth it
actual eating because I was just immediately, as soon as I dove into those red beans and rice, I was like, oh. And then I got some of those green beans. And I don't say this very often. Green beans are usually kind of like a little throwaway to a lot of restaurants. They're just something that's out of the can, lightly seasoned. That was not the case here. These things were good. I will say this, they did favor a little bit more on the salty, but I mean, that's to be expected at a lot of places. But everything else was very equally balanced. And those rolls, they were buttery, they were crispy, they were delightful. I don't know how to explain them. All of it that I didn't eat came with me because, well, at some point after I get out of this food coma, I'm gonna want food again. And now I have it. But also you can see the clouds are starting to build again. So we're probably gonna get rained on again tonight. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna find a campsite and kind of chill. And by campsite, it may not be like a really beautiful outdoor space. It may just be like a Cracker Barrel or maybe a truck stop, because we wanna be close to the Vicksburg area. And we also don't want to be out in the middle of kind of nowhere because of the rain. A lot of places are flooded right now. So that's kind of limiting us on some of the places we can stay, which, okay, fine. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So Cracker Barrel sounds good. But we're going to look to see if there's a truck stop. There are a couple Walmarts around here too, but I'd prefer to stay at a Cracker Barrel than a Walmart. It's just a personal preference. There's not as much like crazy noise. So I'm gonna get into the van and start looking some stuff up while Riley is walking Tyson. See, there they are over there, strutting their stuff. Get it, Ty, get it. Meanwhile, there's Riley, who's just dancing away. Dorky dance, dorky dance, dorky dance. I went through all these sites on iOverlander in the Vicksburg area, and some of them were showing up on the other side of the Mississippi, and it says very clearly that it could be subject to flooding if the weather's bad. The weather has been bad, so we're not staying at those. The Louisiana Welcome Center also is available, but that's on the other side. And it also had a review on there that said that somebody had stayed there because the security guard told them they could, but it also had signs that say no overnighting. So I typically don't like to stay any place that there is even the slightest hint of a sign saying there's no overnighting, because if for some reason the rules change at any given time, if there is a sign there that says no overnighting, they could be subject to enforcing that. So I just try to avoid it. It's late in the day, so I don't know that we would encounter a human working there, so I just don't feel super gung-ho about that one. So the others that were available were like a Walmart or the Cracker Barrel. I did not see a truck stop, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go on up to the Cracker Barrel because it puts us closer to the historic sites, and then we can just leave from Cracker Barrel in the morning straight to the historic sites, where I plan on picking up my new park pass. I definitely need to get a new park pass. Mine lapsed because I hadn't been to any parks, and I hadn't renewed it because I hadn't been traveling to any parks. So I wanted to pick mine up on this trip anyway, and then I'll be able to use it kind of wherever. Now, a lot of people have asked me about filming in national parks and if you can do that. And I have learned that the rule of thumb with doing this is to ask at the park the people who are there. So I will be doing that, and in doing so, I will find out what they say. Each park is able to dictate that on their own independently, and as a whole, I always ask if I can film. And so I think that that should go without question for every individual. I also do have my media pass that I can use because of Nomad News, so I have that available. It is a credentialed pass, so that does help a little bit because I do educational content. So schools can use it. So people who are interested in learning about the actual history can use it, and so that they can see it as a resource. So because of that, I always ask still, just in case. So I think that's what we're going to do, is just go and kind of relax for the evening. I'm super tired. We're not going to pull in immediately. We're going to pull in a little bit later because we don't want to just be hanging out in the parking lot. Don't do that. Don't be that person who overstays. So waiting on Riley to get back from Walgreens, and then we're going to chit it up a little bit, chitty chat, and then we'll move on. I'm so full. I could go into a night zone right now if I could just recline, but I can't. Driving in the rain made me tired. Eating that huge meal made me super tired, but that's okay. I have some things that I want to do this evening, so I'll probably just hang out in my van, download some things, and hit the sleep early tonight. Well, there it is. Cracker Barrel for the win. Cracker Barrel for the win. And I'm putting up my window stuff. Riley's right over here getting herself set up too. Today has been a wild one. It's been filled with all sorts of interesting things. At the same time, it's been filled with a lot of challenges. I'm still in a food coma. I only drove about 7 minutes to get here, and my stomach is just going, oh my gosh. There's a couple other people here already. I'm sure there'll be a few more, and that's fine. This is just an overnight stay so that we can get to the destination tomorrow. We're pretty close to where we need to be. And so I am looking forward to this night of camping here at the Cracker Barrel. Now, as always, if you do stay at a Cracker Barrel, make sure you go inside and buy something of some kind, even if it's small. Just a little word to the wise. That's what makes this place available to us. So, probably gonna do that in the morning, because right now I just want to curl up in a ball. So since these things are nice and nasty, I'm just going to put them into one of my little shower caps to keep all the grime out. And eventually I'll end up replacing this one because it looks like it's getting some little holes in it, but this keeps all the nasty out of my van. So into the van, under the seat, and now I just have to put up one more window cover and I am done. Today has been wild. But remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll look a little bit more well rested, and maybe there won't be rain, even though the sky definitely looks like some rain. Well, it is what it is. Till next time guys, bye!